Hi everyone, and welcome back to Woman2Woman. How are you at getting up early in the morning? Or do you sadly hit the snooze button for an extra 5 minutes? Have you ever slept in only to turn up late, no seats left, missed the moment? Well, at Woman2Woman last night, we looked at one of our old favourites from John chapter 20. Christians throughout the world are about to celebrate Easter. It's a wonderful time. However, shortly after Jesus had died and was placed in the tomb, it was a very sad and confusing time for the disciples. They were hiding out, hurting and grieving, confused. They were disappointed. Things hadn't turned out how they'd expected. They wanted a saviour riding on a chariot, not a donkey, and now he was dead. What about you? Do you know the pain of disappointment? I know I have experienced disappointment many times. It comes in different disguises, but it hurts still the same. Perhaps it's the loss of a dream. You didn't expect it to turn out this way. Maybe a career you thought you might have, the dream job, the dream house, the perfect marriage partner, the child that you thought that you would have, the friend that you thought they were. It can be a dark and lonely place, facing disappointment, and the disciples knew what that felt like, locked away in their pain. All but one knew what to do with their disappointment. Mary. Mary Magdalene was hurting too. She was grieving and in pain, but instead of staying locked in that room, she got up while it was still dark and she made her way to the tomb. She didn't know how this pain would leave her, but she knew who to take it to. She had to be where Jesus was. It's amazing when we turn to Jesus, when we fix our eyes on him, how our perspective changes. Faced with an empty tomb, Mary wept, dazed and confused, overwhelmed with pain. She couldn't even see him at first because she was so fixed on her pain. And perhaps that has become your focus. All you can think about, all you can see is the pain, the past, the hurts, the disappointment. But he was there and he called her by name. Yes, he knows us by name and he knows exactly what you're facing right now. Instead of looking at her problems, she fixed her eyes on the promise, on the Master, the one that promises you that he will never leave you, he will never reject you, he will never abandon you. Mary was confused at first. She couldn't even see him properly. She thought he was the gardener at one point. How do you see Jesus? Who do you say Jesus is? He is so much more than the gardener. But Mary's eyes were soon opened and she saw the resurrected King. What areas of your life might you need to see Jesus as he really is, the resurrected King? What are you looking at? Are you looking at a nice springtime story? Or are you looking at a life-changing moment? Are you looking at death, at a tomb, darkness? Or are you looking at the light, at the risen Saviour? Mary got up at sunrise and she took her pain to Jesus. By choosing to be with Jesus, her eyes were opened and she became the first person to testify to the resurrected Jesus. What did she do with that information? Well, she went and she shared it with everybody that she loved. Why not this Easter? Take your eyes off of the problem, off of the pain and disappointment. Look to Jesus, the resurrected Saviour, to wipe away your tears. And if you already know him as Lord, then why not share him this Easter with those that you love? Happy Easter. Until next time.